Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about the questions I get from people regarding my methotrexate video and then the ectopic pregnancy. So there's a lot of questions that I'm getting. A lot of them are after what exactly did I feel after the methotrexate, the pain that I got with it, or what the doctor advised after, if someone was planning to conceive after. Also, a lot of questions about HCG levels. Now, when I tell you what I went through, I know sometimes I get questions where it's almost like asking me what to do. I am not a doctor and I cannot give you medical advice, but out of experience going through it, I can tell you what to look for, the signs to be careful of, the red flags, and the questions you could go to your doctor and ask them. But at the same time, if your doctor is not available in that time, you're not panicking till the morning, this is where we just kind of, even if you look in my comment section down below in the pregnancy video, there will be a lot of women kind of bringing in their experiences and, just joining in and explaining to each other. I wanted to take the time to, just make this video because when you're going through something like that, there's like tons of questions that you have and you're just waiting for someone to answer them for you. So because I've been through it, I totally understand. So I'm not just talking out of knowledge of it, but out of experience as well. As far as the HCG levels go, what I was told by my doctor was it is very normal and it is very common for your HCG levels to all of a sudden rise or drop. Sometimes it can give you false hope. That's what happened to me in my miscarriage. When I saw my numbers increase, I was like, okay, it seems like everything is fine. And I'm sure, this pregnancy will be, viable. But that was not the case. That's just something that happens. If they consistently keep increasing, then yes, then there's something that needs to be looked into. HCG levels to go up and down, that is completely normal. Even after treatment has been given to you, like methotrexate or any other drug that the doctor has given to you in order to let the miscarriage kind of continue. It had me really heartbroken, when I was going through my ectopic and I was waiting for my HCG numbers to drop, and all of a sudden, even after taking the medication, after taking my methotrexate shots, I saw that, the next day they increased. But my doctor said that's completely normal. And just to let you guys know, if that is happening with you, stay put, stay strong. They just monitor them. They are gonna drop if everything's going well. And again, these are things that your doctor has to explain to you. I always promote the questions. I always say, no, you can't ask too many questions. When it comes to your health like that, when it comes to a pregnancy, a lot of times we think a miscarriage, really, we shouldn't be asking questions. We should just let it happen. That's just how people do it. You're going to a doctor for a reason. The situation you're in is very serious. Please don't feel like you're being a bother to anybody, just pick up the phone, call your gynecologist, call your doctors, make sure you're leaving a message for them, you're doing however you can get in touch with them, because this is a crucial time for you. You're going through all this turmoil and, just trauma. So, always make sure to go ahead and ask those questions. But that was the question for the HCG. The next one that I get is the pain. So as far as pain goes, that again, it all depends on different people. Like each individual has a different tolerance for pain. Each individual's body is going to react differently to a medication. But as far as what I went through with my ectopic, I heard a lot of, people tell me, I read it somewhere, or at least what people knew, that methotrexate shots, once you take them, you're gonna start cramping like you're in labor, and it's gonna be excruciating. But I didn't feel any of that. The whole time I was in the hospital, that 1 week, I did get my medications, I got my shots. I was uncomfortable. I was getting side effects from the medication where I was feeling extremely nauseous. I was feeling pretty weak. I felt tender in my stomach. I would say it's like a light period cramp, but I didn't get anything extreme with the methotrexate shots. Now, when I came home, once I was discharged, and that was about 8 days later. The pain that I got was very different. A couple days later, I started getting this really sharp pain, and at that point, I felt it was more like contractions. It was like contractions. It was more onto my right side. That's what got me to the ER, and inquiring about what's going on and checking it out. And that's when I found out that, my body was going through labor. My body was actually dilated so that it could get rid of the remaining pregnancy, the sac. I already mentioned all of this in my other videos. If you haven't seen them, please do go and check them out. Those are the videos on the methotrexate side effects and my ectopic pregnancy stories. So I didn't feel anything at the hospital, not for a whole week when I was getting the shots. Now I got 4 methotrexate shots. So I'm not sure how many, each one of you are getting. I know typically they're supposed to give you about 1 or 2. With my case, because it was so complicated with the cervical ectopic pregnancy, they had to give me 4 of those shots. So that was no joke. But I managed perfectly fine on it. When I felt that extreme pain, I did call my gynecologist office and they said, I'm not supposed to feel that type of pain after so many days of the medication being given to me. But not everyone is by the book. Not everyone's body is by the book, where that's how you're supposed to experience pain, or that's how you're supposed to experience side effects. The next question I also get is, what do you do if you want to start conceiving again? What are the guidelines for conceiving after methotrexate? From what my doctor told me, that usually when people are given a shot or 2 of the methotrexate, they are always advised to wait 3 months before they get pregnant again. In my case, because I got 4 shots, they told me don't even think of getting pregnant before 6 months. So they wanted me to give 6 months in between and then even think about trying to conceive again. And they said that, because the kind of medication that the methotrexate is, if you were to get pregnant in between, not waiting the time that they have advised you to wait, baby can be born with a lot of birth defects. Just remember, things that don't feel normal to you and you feel that's not normally how your body reacts, you need something for pain management. Write down a list of questions before you go on your next appointment. I always had a little book with me where I would write down all my questions, because you tend to forget throughout the day, or you tend to forget by the time you're at your appointment, you're completely somewhere else. So make sure you have a little notepad or in your phone, in your notes, just jot down all your questions. Jot down things like even bleeding. Yes, that's another thing. So I need to talk about bleeding as well. So that is another question that I get, that, what's normal bleeding? Now, again, each person is different. Everyone's body is different. The pregnancy itself could be different. As far as my ectopic pregnancy went, a day before I ended up in the hospital, I had heavy bleeding, and that was completely different for me. It was very heavy bleeding. I would say for about half an hour while I was at home. But at that point, I had no clue what was going on with me, because I had just come back from my doctor's appointment, and they had not figured out at that point what was going on in my body. We were all under the impression that I was having a miscarriage. That was the only time I had really heavy bleeding. Went to my ultrasound appointment the next morning. I was sent straight to the hospital. Starting that point till I was done, completely healed, not at any point during that time did I have heavy bleeding. I just had bleeding that was almost like a light to medium period. They wanted to make sure they were watching my hemoglobin, and that is something that they're going to monitor very closely, because they don't want that to drop below a certain level. I believe 11 to 13 is excellent. Anything that stops dropping when it goes to 9 and below, they say that's kind of where they're kind of getting worried, or if they're watching your blood work every day and they can see it dropping a couple points down. But as far as bleeding goes, that's how mine was. From this time the treatment started till the time I healed, it was just like a light to medium period with a lot of clots. But other than that, nothing. Again, me sharing all this information is knowing that this is people, women who are going through this, and that is the reason why I we're kind of opening up to each other and making sure we share the nitty-gritty details, you know. As far as the care, how to care for your body after an ectopic or a miscarriage or you know, a medication like methotrexate. The things that I'm sharing with you are things that were told to me by medical professionals. I was told that even if your body goes through a miscarriage that was just 6 weeks or 8 weeks or not too long, your body still thinks it went through a whole labor and delivery. So your body got pregnant, that's what it knows, that it was taking care of a baby, and now all of a sudden, you know, it's not. So your body gets really weak. It is very important to take your vitamins. It is very important to eat healthy and take care of yourself. This is the physical part of it, and that's all we can do. The mental aspect of it is a whole different ballgame. You will grieve. You know, you won't want to take help. You will want to take help. You're going to go through all sorts of emotional roller coasters, and that time will just tell. When you are ready, that is when you will know when to get help, or to talk to someone, or to cry it out, or to just, you know, get some time just to yourself, or just to spend that time with your partner. So really, that is something that depends on who you're close to, what helps you in general. But the mental part of it, I can tell you that it's never easy. You can take care of yourself physically. You can definitely, you know, you could take vitamins, you could eat the right things, you could drink enough liquids, you can do all of that. But when it comes to the emotional hurt, yes, that's way more complicated, I feel, in these situations. I personally did not feel comfortable for a very long time to talk to anyone. I did not want to share that part of my hurt with anyone. And it's just one of those things. You just had a miscarriage, you just went through, you just had a loss. So everyone has different hurts, different, you know, kind of loss, and you just have to deal in your own way. I feel it's been that long. It's been like 2 years. Yeah, it's been 2 years, and I have not gotten over it. It's still there somewhere in the back of my mind, but you just learn to kind of move forward, you know. I mean, my kids keep me pretty busy, my work keeps me pretty busy, you know, just in general, but you find things to do, but it is always going to be there. You just have to figure out when is the right time to get that help, because that is very important. You have to release what you're holding in. So, but there's no timeline. You can't go on a timeline that someone tells you to. I get people asking me, is this normal for us to go through this? I can only tell you what I went through, and I know that's normal, but you might go through something completely different and something that I didn't experience, and I might feel, well, maybe that's not normal. So always make sure we can be there for each other as women who go through this pain. Whether we can advise each other from things and experiences that we've been through. But I feel the most important thing in this whole situation is to have an amazing doctor who will take great care of you. And I was really blessed to have that. I really had an amazing doctor. She watched over me, you know, throughout my hospital stay. There was barely a day she missed to come see me. She would, if once I was home, she gave me, you know, she would call me and check on me that way. So it's very important to have a doctor who understands what you're going through and how you need to be, you know, taken care of. Don't hesitate to go to the ER. What's the worst case scenario that's going to happen? Or the best case scenario, I should call it, you're going to go in there, they're going to check you out, they're going to say you're perfectly fine, that's normal, go back home. And you know what, at least you're going to have that peace of mind, and you're going to know that you're taking care of yourself. I try my best to answer whatever questions you guys sent me, and sometimes if I miss it, I'm so sorry, but I will periodically check on there and make sure that I can make videos like this just to kind of have a little bit of a chit chat with you guys. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, please like, share, and comment. Send me more questions. Let me know if there's any other way I can help you out with this hard and difficult journey. From all the people, when I hear you guys send me messages, and you know, when we communicate with each other, I understand what you're going through because I've been there, and I guess time will heal. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe. Bye.